I'm going down to the woods. Anybody want to go? I gotta turn us around though. Hold on a second. Let me know if you're with me. Okay, so I'm gonna walk down here to the woods. I don't know if anybody's sees me or not, but it's not raining, and I can hear. Ooh, I just heard something else too. What the heck was that? You guys, if I see Bigfoot out here, I'm gonna freak out. What the heck is that? Hear that? Do you guys hear that knocking? I'm not kidding. I'll get myself so freaked out. I've been watching way too many flipping Sasquatch stuff, and it's like all over up here. Check that out. Hey, if you guys are talking to me, I might not be able to see you because I don't have the comments going. Because it's kind of like spooky anyway. Hear that water? I have to be really careful. Like, look at all these limbs that broke. All these limbs fell from the storm. So some of these trees right here, that's where, like right along the creek where I come down sometimes. Hey, I hope you guys are doing good. So I just wanted to come on and take you guys on a walk with me. You can hear the water. I came down earlier. And I know sometimes I just pop on. I don't ever really have a set schedule. Hey, how's it going? Krubby the Beagle. Krubby? Is that the right? I've seen you guys and your little dog. He's so cute. I need to go take a watch sometimes. Thanks for popping in and saying hello. I haven't been able to be on as much. And so I wanted to bring you guys down to the creek by where I've been staying. Thanks, Krubby the Beagle. Thanks for coming on and just popping on saying hello to me. You guys, they are in an entirely different part of the world than us. And I love all the folks that I get to say hello to that are all over the world. It's just really neat to find out that there's so many kind people out there that, you know, it's not what you've been taught, or sometimes it is, you know. But it's just really nice to meet the people and say hello to you guys. And I haven't even been on YouTube, so if some of the folks I follow are on, I certainly don't. I'm not trying to get in on their time. I'm just down here while I can, and I know you guys can come back and watch it later. But see, that's pretty swift right now. It's not as swift as it was, but you can see where that water came up all, because it usually hangs out about right there, and I can walk down. But yesterday I came down. Make sure you no freaking Sasquatch over here. I'm not playing either. I'll be screaming bloody murder. They'll think I died. It is kind of crazy out here, huh? That creek just runs like right along here. But it did come up. It gets pretty marshy right up there where those tree stumps are. Like that one, I get a little nervous because it's leaning and it's like, it's still hanging on, but you can see a lot of the roots. These trees are like old, and some of that rot goes all the way down. So when this stuff starts washing around right here, the underneath there could start rotting and caving out, and then that water comes, like it was all the way up to here yesterday. That's quite a bit of water. And I know I saw Pacific Northwest Fishing. Hey, how you doing? I was just thinking about you, actually. I haven't been on to seeing if you're hiking. I haven't been on, so it's good to see you. Thank you. I'm doing good. I'm just down here to the creek. Yesterday it was all the way up to these bricks, And I was just talking about how a lot of times that water will rise and then it kind of washes up into here, and these big trees here will fall. So that's when up here in Washington State, where I'm at, the mud we can have mudslides, and not so much where I'm at right here, but you can see that big tree that fell there. That's been there for a minute. Those are the kind of things we have to watch for here. Oh, you are on the trail? Oh my gosh. I'll have to, oh man, I just had a picture like of what it looks like, because I love watching. You guys, if anyone else, if you're not watching now and you're watching this later, go on and check out, I can never say you're the solo hiker. That's what I call you, solo hiker. He goes out on this beautiful place, and it's Lower Pakistan. Is it Pakistan? Where are you, my friend? Say something. Anyway, I love going on and watching. It's Lower Chitral. Don't laugh at me. Anyway, I know who you are, and I'll go on and make sure I put your link in down in the description, and make sure you guys, it's beautiful, beautiful. Never says anything, just beautiful hiking. And I am Lower Chitral district of Pakistan. So see, I was right. I talk about you often, and I always say that I have friends all the way in Pakistan. So it's beautiful there, and it helps me to see there's so much more in the world, and there's so many beautiful people in the world. And so when I say that, I'm thinking of you, and you know, you guys have always been so kind to me, and that's why I keep going. Yes, Hindu Kush Mountains, that's where it is. Yes, oh my gosh. And so you're on the trail there now? Or you're on the, in Chitral? That's where I get confused. So I need to look up on the Google Maps where you are. I've Googled it before on Google Earth, and it's beautiful. I'm like, I learned so much by watching everyone else. So here we just have a lot of ferns, and like I said, that creek runs right through here. And it's, can you see the mist? See that mistiness there? That never goes away here. It's very lush, and I love coming out at night. It's just different. It's very pretty here. And you actually can camp down here if you want. It's just a nice little, this is private property though, so it's not a public place. It's a place that I get to come to, and I'm so happy. So I'm gonna try to do this way. And then also, I thank you to whoever's all watching. I appreciate you guys. Right there is where the creek is, and it just runs like right through here, all the way down there, and then it cuts and goes back that way. But yeah, right now it's like, it's not raining. I can't feel rain, but it's very moist, and see the moisture on the ground. It's like this all the time. So that's been a real struggle for me doing this lifestyle, living in the truck, definitely having problems with moisture in the truck, and have some leaks that I need to get taken care of. I want to show you guys right down here where this creek runs under the road, and I know there's supposed to be trout in here, and you know, like I said, it's private property here, but there's places where you can go and fish. And I think the Chehalis River is, I know one of my friends, I was just talking about Pacific Northwest fishing, Brian, he was saying that they've shut fishing down, and I know Washington Fish, heck no, man, I'm meaner than a rattlesnake, Ma Vader. Heck no. As frustrated as I've been, I feel sorry for anybody they tried to get me. It'd be my one opportunity to justify it. Of course, I get scared. I do get scared. But I don't. because I protect myself, so I'm a country girl. How you guys doing? Is it cold there? I've been seeing like all these videos, or and maybe they're old, but like people saying the iguanas are gonna fall out of the trees, and isn't that kind of weird right there? If it's raining, I don't like being out here, but the one thing that I have to do is because I stumble around like an old drunk sailor, I have to be careful not to fall. Because that's the thing is, you know, when you get out by yourself like this, and let me know if I'm holding that right, if you guys can see this, okay. When you get out here by yourself, and I have fallen, I hit my head on the truck. I've like fallen out of the truck and just blam, hit my head and lay there for a minute and think, okay, am I all right? You know, because that's the one thing that I do get afraid of is if I fell, what would I do? Back to normal. Yeah, that's what I was wondering, if it was really cold, because that one guy, that funny guy that does the flip phone skits, he was talking about the temperatures. I see some other people talking about the iguanas, and there's a couple, RV Adventure Tour, I think. They have been down there quite a bit, and get that water. See how it runs right down in here? Too bad I can't go frog gigging or something. Oh, I don't know if I could do it. We used to, like, anybody out there go frog gigging? I was trying to see if I see any fishes. But if I did, it'd be like the trout, and they're probably the same color. So imagine it'd be hard to see them. Like, I'm serious, you guys. Ah! Oh, I thought that was like, what is that? If I was down in Florida, that'd have scared the bejeebie. Even in Arkansas, where I grew up, like, that kind of stuff. We had water moccasins, and man, I'm really glad. I don't know who all's still on. Ma, I know you were on, and my friend from Pakistan, I'm really glad that he was on. He said he's on the trail right now, so I'm sure he's gonna have some really cool videos. Look at this. You guys don't have ferns and stuff either, huh? You just have like what do you guys have there in Florida? Like, we have these ferns all over the place. Like, what would you guys have? The one thing that I absolutely don't like, look at that. Heck yeah, sometimes I do get scared. I pray a lot. Look at these old, and you know what else? There it is. These trees, the only thing that I've been getting, I'll tell you what scares me, is these dang trees at night, like in the wind. Like, sometimes that scares me because I hear like knocking. I'm not kidding. I think Bigfoot's been out here too, because my daughter says she saw Bigfoot, and I'm like, well, I don't know about that. Like, she might have. My granddaughter, that's what they said. I'm not gonna say they didn't. But sometimes mossy trees. Oh, you guys have those crazy, like, yeah. I'll have to look it up and see what the term is. That's how cold it. I mean, it's cold, and you can see the moisture in there. That's just my breath. I swear I'm not smoking nothing. See? So there's just so much moisture in the air. If you are not, like right now I have on, I almost fell. See what I'm talking about? I get drunk. If I didn't have on layers, I couldn't take it. It's too cold. It's just damp. It's not even cold, it's damp. And I love this time of night. This is when I like to be out at night. This is when Shell comes to life. Yep. And then my truck is right down there. So see, I've got a sweet spot, you know. I mean, it's cool. And just working a lot of things out. Like, see how our trees are? These things like almost create like if you guys watch those survival shows, this stuff right here, I love these trees. See, it's kind of like your mossy trees, but they're these, you know, like the evergreen. But see how they're blooming? So see the tips on those trees? By February, like, these trees, I don't know, right now these trees will be blooming. They're the trees that release all that green pollen. So not too much longer, probably a little bit longer, not much. Can you see let me tip that light a little bit. It's hard to see it, but you can see that the growth is starting. That right there, when that stuff releases that pollen, oh my goodness gracious. That's been a whole new experience for me because I can't just hide in a building and not come out. And then there's all this ivy. So you have to watch out for poison ivy. It can get you. Yeah, no, I've got a tent. I mean, I've got everything I need. That's what I was thinking today. I started to do a video and I was like, you know what am I stressing for? You know, I just need to believe and be confident. But sometimes it's hard, you know. It is hard. And I appreciate like Ma Vader, Dad Vader, BB, cameraman, my friends all over the world. Krubby the Beagle, he came on earlier, so that was nice to see them pop in. I can't remember where they're at. I don't remember where. It's like in one of the I don't think it's Vietnam. It's over there somewhere though. So it's just nice that people pop in and say hi to me. And then you can see like here's my the garbage and everything that I've been just going through stuff, getting rid of stuff. And it's kind of like easier to see it at night than it is in the day. And then I have this little part right here covered up because when these storms come through, man, Shell gets worried. And I'm thinking last night was whenever we had the big snowstorm, you guys go on and watch our weather here. It's Como 4, I think, or King 5 News. I think is the one I watch a lot. And so I know just kind of what's happening up in Seattle and around the Sound. If they're getting it, I'm definitely gonna get it because I'm out here in the forest. But those trees past here, and I've sent you guys those big pictures before, Ma Vader. Oh yeah, definitely. That's why I do have to. I'm more scared of animals than I am people out here. But there are some people out here that wander out here, believe it or not. They're running, you know, they come just like there, you know, it's the same thing. They'll come be in the woods, and I don't want to stumble on anything like that. But there was a lady that got attacked. She got attacked up here by a big old cat somewhere. And so, yeah, we've got those cougars, and I'm not the cougar. Don't even start with me. I'm sorry I had to. That was funny. But there's big old mountain lions and bears. Definitely the bears. Sometimes I think a lot of people, when they think they see or hear Bigfoot, I'm not saying that he's not real, you guys, because I am scared to play, believe it or not. Those videos, those documentaries, when those guys are out there doing those knocks and stuff and trying to call them and playing back those, what they hear, I am not coming out of my truck after playing that stuff. Because I'm thinking, what if they are here and they hear it? Because I'm not denying it, that's for sure. I think for as many people has seen what they've seen, I think somebody's seeing something. But sometimes I think maybe, you know, it could be a bear. And I know like the other day when I opened up the door, because like here's my truck right here, right? And I opened up the door, well, those deer were right here. And that one deer, I was kind of feeling bad, like maybe I should have called wildlife or something and had them see if they could help that one deer out. Because I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know if it's like she's born that way, but they've been out here for a while. And that one deer, they'll come right through here. I did that one video. I did a reel today on Instagram. This girl, she's doing the dance thing like I do. And so I was way out there today at the shooting ranges over there. There's a shooting range. And then that creek will run right through where those trees are. So it's you know, it's a cool place, but it's also out here. That's the tree right there that breathing. These trees right here, these ones were moving that night that the storm was going, and then there's some like right through here. So these are the ones I worry about right here, because those are on the creek. So if anything, I worry about these trees right there. And there's enough people that live around right here that, I don't know, it's pretty populated, but you get the bears, like if they get hungry or they're getting run out of the woods. Today I heard shooting, and I think there's some people that have a cattle that they, you know, are it's a farming land out here, so people, you'll hear the guns going and you'll know, okay, they just, you know, they're doing a butcher today. So you'll hear the guns going off and you'll know that they're doing their slaughter that day. So it's kind of like, now that I know that and I hear it, at first I just thought it was somebody. Look at this big tree, Ma. Look at this one, you guys. At first when I heard it, I just thought somebody's practicing, because everybody practices, you know. I mean, it's like, you don't want to go messing around on people's property out here. I'll just say it that way. Probably not a good idea. These folks believe in freedom. So you just got to be aware of where you are and don't be where you're not supposed to be. But yeah, look at this tree. This one right here, I don't worry about this one as much because of how big it is. You can see this is an old tree and it's got all that moss on it and stuff. And then right over here, these things right there, like I don't worry about this one right here. It's a pretty big tree. I could go stand by it. Yeah, that sucker's way up there. So if I'm out here and that wind come through, that probably would not be a good idea. Those limbs right there are pretty beat up. There you can see it. Be very careful. I'll be falling backwards. Look how tall that sucker is. All the way up there. Thanks for hanging on with me, you guys. You know me, I'll talk forever once I get going. So there's the barn. See that big tree right there? That's right behind the barn. I mean, these things are like monstrous. So when that wind gets cooking, yeah, I get a little nervous. And I do get nervous like with the cats, the big cats, because they're so quiet. Bears, I don't think they're as quiet. It's the cats, because they're hunters, you know, they're gonna prowl up and try to bite me. And I'm not as fast as I don't know, I scream pretty loud though. But I was watching the new, I kind of keep up with like those one folks on the Sasquatch. And there's some pretty good documentaries up here in Washington. Like if I was out in the woods like that, yeah, I might get a little scared then. I might be afraid because there's too many people come up missing. Like forest rangers, and like they don't know where those people are. They're not just anybody, you know, they're professionals and they know how to survive. That's what I was saying earlier, is if you're out here, like again, like I don't know if you can see the mist. It's not raining. I cannot feel that at all. I don't feel it. Almost looks like it's snowing, right? Trying to get it at an angle where you guys can see that. So you just got that moisture in the air. It's like constant. It doesn't really dry out until it's in the summer. And if it gets dry here, well, you see what can happen. There's a lot of stuff that can burn. And that creek pretty much could dry. It dried up this summer. It was pretty dry. I don't really think there was much water in there, but they said that there's salmon come up in that creek. Once they get to this far though, if they make it, the neighbor said that they're pretty beat up. So it's just, you know, learning when I can fish and where to go. Right now they're not able to fish. Brian from Pacific Northwest Fishing, he said that they had shut down fishing on the river down there. So he's down in, I think, or I said, what did I say? I don't remember what I said now, but he's in Oregon. And then you got Reef Robber, those guys are down there. I think he was out on the ocean. He goes out on the ocean. I don't know how I do out on the ocean. I get seasick. Anybody else get seasick? It makes me want to, I don't do well. Of course, I haven't been out in a long time. I might do a, hey, what's up, Dad Vader? Did Ma feed you good? Did you have dinner? What time is it there? I don't even know what time it is. I just kind of wander around in the dark. Never know what I'm doing. Never know where I'm going. Hi, Jose. How are you? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, I'm just like over here, like just showing you guys all the stuff and haven't even shown you me. I'm here, I promise. I promise. I brought it wood. 8:28? Okay, so it's 5:28 here. You guys are 3 hours ahead of me. Man, what's the temperature there? Ma said that it was it's warmed up a little bit. Got some dry wood out here, more of my stuff I've been cleaning up. Oh, so do you guys know each other? Hello, do you guys, I've seen Jose before. I'm glad he's come over on my channel. And I don't think I've seen you on my Instagram, but I do have my Instagram. And I've been picking up people on my Instagram. It's pretty, are you serious? Oh my goodness. That is my kind of weather. See, I think I need to I was looking for the deer. Believe it or not, when I'm talking out here, they still come. They like me too. Oh, I put the hummingbird feeder right here under the, on the tree. And there was 2 different hummingbirds that came up and talked to me today. So that was nice, and I like them. One of them was little. One of them looked like it might be having some babies soon. So we'll see if that one has babies. Oh, okay. Well, I missed it, so I apologize for that. I'll have to go back and find it. I am so behind. I'm behind on everybody. But yeah, that little bird was like up in here. I don't think this is an apple tree. Look at this though. See how it's sprouting? Like, it's so weird. I need to go down and trim my little maple, because this is when our trees kind of sprout and start trying to, Puerto Rico. Where'd I say? What'd I say? Oh, did you spell it wrong? You know how I am. I'm gonna get me one of those wigs so I can be Puerto Rican too. Reckon. See, oh, listen. See if I can find it. It's pretty dark though. Look at that moisture, you guys. I didn't see it. I'll have to go back. It's because you're always messing with me, making fun of me. Reckon. I love those stinking reels on Instagram. Some of them are so hilarious. Yeah, look at that moisture. It feels good though. I don't feel it. If it was rain, it would not be happening. So that little bird has been hanging out right up in here in this tree. They like it. I had it just sitting there, but the deer comes up here too, and they'll eat the leaves and stuff off this tree. So this is when I'm getting the picture of the deer. There you go. Sorry, guys. They're coming through. Oh, I thought that was one right there. I was about to run. Those deer are big. And that one deer that has a broken foot, like its hoof is bent weird. It still gets around good. It can get up and get around. They'll come, those little birds are like, they like these trees. In the truck, I use, right now I'm using, I go between my Jackery and my electric blanket. I know, it is funny. Instagram, I was answering 2 questions at once. I'm gonna find the deer because I know they're gonna be out tonight because it's nice. What did you ask me again? What the heck? Oh, how do I stay warm in the truck? So in the truck, right now I have an extension cord. So if it gets really cold, I have like this little heater that I plug in, and because I'm basically living in the box, I call it my box. It's so cozy though, you guys. It's like, I don't think people, it's like, don't feel sorry for me. I am so cozy right there. I'm like, it's just, it's like some people, like, they worry about me. Oh my gosh, it's his fault that I'm on it. It's his fault. I'm glad though, because I've met so many awesome people, because you know me, I'm a chatterbox. Ooh, look at that bug. See it? Ooh. Oh, what? It's making me sick. Where'd it go? I just enjoy it because, like, I can act up. And it's okay. Nobody cares if I act up. It's just accepted. So here's the garden. Right? I can be crazy if I want to. Be crazy. Actually, I can be crazy and, like, be popular for it. People come to see me just to see how crazy I'm gonna be. What am I doing today? Who am I going off on? No, I'm usually pretty good. I think it's really helped me a lot to see myself and hear myself. And I do go back. Sometimes I'll go back and watch it and make sure, you know, like, oh, could I have done this better, that better? Sometimes I don't. It is what it is. See all this stuff that fell? You can't see it as good during the day, but I drug that down. But that was a limb that fell out of that tree. There we go. So see, this thing makes like I mean, it's almost like an umbrella. It'll be rain like all the way out here. You'll see like snow, ice, and then there won't be much here. But when it's blowing in sideways, but the heat, you said. So Jackery, let me show you guys real quick. Now that I'm back at the truck, I need to set up some lights out here. I've been going through stuff on my bucket. So every night, part of my routine is I try to get down here before dark. And one of the things, I have to change the cat box because oh my Lord, that right there is worse than everything. But I have my bucket, so I get my bucket together and there's nothing in there, but you shouldn't see. I just cleaned it. So I have in my bucket, I got a funnel from the store, and I have, yeah, it is when I go back. Well, not so much now. At first, I realized I mumbled a lot, and I get off. That's when I really realized I'm showing you my pee bucket. But see how I put the liner in there? So I've got the, I use a softener jug. And then that way I can toss it. You do want to keep those little deodorizer thing, whatever they're called, those little chunks of stuff that you can put in your toilet. You're supposed to hang in your toilet. It smells like mothballs. Those will definitely help with the smell. So right now, this is going to be a mess. I'm scared to even show you. I pulled the stove down. Look at this. What a mess. Where's my cat? You still in here, buddy? Stokely. What are you doing, bud? It's his sleepy time. He got to go out today. So today I had an idea that, let me set this down, see if I can turn this around and talk to you guys at least. Don't be afraid. Okay, there I am. Hi! So today I had this idea, like, you know what? Because now that I'm in it, and I have my Jackery, so here's what I did, and I know I probably shouldn't have, but that when it got cold, you guys, and the power went out. We didn't have power Christmas. The power went off. I woke up. There was no power. It was like, I don't know, 7:25, I think it went out. And so no power all day Christmas. But I knew we were having a storm. So my blankets are all crazy right now too. So I charged my Jackery. See it under there? And then I used this heater. Yeah, well, these things suck a lot of power. So I try not to run it, you know, more than I have to. And it's really quick to heat up. But I'll tell you something with the Jackery. You can't run those heaters on the Jackery. You can, but how far do you think 1,000-watt Jackery, sorry, I'm trying to get this thing to stand up, goes on, you know, like, I'm hot. Like, I have on too much. I'm layered, because if you get wet, then you're in trouble here. That's what happens to people. They get damp and then they can't get into a shelter to dry off, and your clothes, everything's wet. I did so much laundry when I first came because I had to learn, like, I'm gonna get soaking wet when you're outside and you're having to dump the bucket. And so that's why I started learning, okay, before it gets dark, if I can, I get everything set up so that I'm not outside. Because yes, there's bears, yes, there's mountain lions, cougars, whatever they have. I mean, there's cougars, I think, and Sasquatch. So, and I ran that, but I also used my stove. And what I did was I heated water. So I wasn't just running the stove, and I put it like right here. It was on my shelf. And what I did was I flipped this upside down. That's been tough, is not being able to really finish because of the leaks. So that's why it's like, why am I not getting this done? Because every time I turn around, I'm dealing with something. The leak, you cannot, you don't want to start putting and I've got way too much stuff in here. What I started doing was pulling out the food and I'm putting it in my containers. And I did lift the bed a little bit more so that I can start putting things back under the bed. I didn't realize how much storage I was using for underneath the bed. And when I changed all that, oh man, I lost a lot of space. So, but today I was thinking, you know what? I could run like this board right here, just a board across the, you know how this is where I've got the cup holders and all that stuff, because in these Suburbans, you lose a lot of space because of the interior, the way they've done the interior. I'd be better off to take it all out and spray it and do something different with it, because they take up so much space with all this part. And the insulation in the floor is zilch. It's cold. The floor is the worst because the seals leak. So I was thinking, if I take a board, and I was watching how you built, Dad Bader, if you're still on, I was watching how you built your guys' shelves in the garage. And it's like, well, obviously I can't do that in here, but I could do that same concept and have these long, shorter tubs and be able to slide those wide and slide them in the way you did with those other containers, and put this board across and then build something in the back. But here's the deal, I can't lose my window, because I use my window. I open my hatch when it's nice. You guys saw me when I was working on Winnie, the RV. I was out here in the truck all the time, and I love to keep my hatch up. And then I run that tarp over the back like it is right now. I can do that whether I have anything else to attach to or not. It's really pretty cool to be, if I can, you know, get really set up like I was this summer. I just wish I shifted my focus from the truck to the RV, and now it's like, but it's kind of a good thing, because honestly, I feel better in this truck than I did in the RV. I loved it and I got excited, but it was just never could get into that. It's like every time I try to do anything, I'd have to switch it up, right? So with the truck, dealing with this leak, I stuck duct tape on it. I finally just done, duct tape over the back. You can still open the door, but that duct tape keeps that water from getting in that crack. And the weather seal that I got, it's the wrong one. The stripping, it's the wrong one. I have to get the one that fits on the door part, and then it's got the big round part that closes up that big gap. So I'm like, forget it, and I'll just duct tape it. You know, I'll have to clean it really good with a solvent, some kind of solvent to get it off, but safe, you know. But yeah, that goo, what is it, Goo Be Gone or whatever that stuff is, goo something. I thought, well, I could use that, and you know, but if it stops that water, because you know what it was doing, and why I found out why it was getting in the truck, where the brake light is, and all those wires go from the outside of the truck where the metal is, and then you got where the light goes into, and then it runs through here. Yeah, water was getting in there also, and I felt where the gap was opening, and I'm like, that's where it's getting in. So then when I move, the motion of moving, that water's running to the front. Yeah, so at least I know, and I caught it before, like it wasn't just sitting somewhere and getting water in it. That's the other thing about living in it, is I'm starting to learn it inside and out. So but I was thinking, if I take that and I build it, I need to hinge. I didn't finish what I was saying. I need to really hinge the side. It looks so small back here right now too. I need to hinge it to where I can pull it back somehow, like make it, does that make sense? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I thought about drawing it. but just make, I turn my light off. I do that all the time too. There I am. So like have the shelves back here, right? But I still want to access the back. And like all my food, that is all my food. And then under here is like some dishes and the clothes and electrical and stuff that can really be going up on the top. Like there's just a lot of things that can go on the top. My safety, I have a tub like, oops, sorry, I have a tub like this one that is full of like those water straws, what are those things? Life straw. I have several of those life straws. So when I was at the apartment, I would buy things to start preparing for this. For one, it's because it's good to have. You know, I would recommend that you guys get one. I keep one in my truck in the glove box. The other thing, it's kind of cool, like everywhere I go, because now I pretty much have everything I need. Like I have access to it. But I want to get this finished. It's driving me insane. This is the hardest part when you're building around yourself. I have some pretty crazy days. Like there's some days that I'm like, I want to just sell it and run away. And like seriously, I said something one day like, what am I gonna do? Like sell my truck and backpack out of here? Yeah, I was almost not able to even get assistance right now with some programs that they have here because of having a truck. Yeah, I was like, man, okay. But they helped me. They were able to help me, so that's the good thing. But I was that close. I probably would have, that might have sent me over the edge. I don't know. I might have been hiking down to Pakistan with my friend down there because I was like done with technology and society, all of it. But yeah, if I do those shelves back there, the one thing that I am bad about, and I've got to get a different coffee pot, because this one, if I run it on my Jackery, what we were talking about, the heat, my blanket alone, my electric blanket, draws about 48 watts running my blanket. So if I run this heater and it's just on low at 750 watts and I only have 1,000-watt Jackery, it will suck it up. Like it'll even like maybe kick it off if it draws too much, because you know how it like kicks up to draw the energy to get it going, and then it could damage it. So I just try to be careful with what I'm plugging in. I never plug that into the Jackery. I did use the propane, which is something that you have to really be careful. And I did put my batteries in my carbon monoxide detector. So yes, if anyone asks, I do have my carbon monoxide detector that is on, and I have it back there kind of mid-level. If I build those shelves, I do want it to hinge. I keep getting off track. I want to hinge it to where I can move it back. I have, I think I have everything. It's just my brain. Let me put my glasses on. Hurry. Propane. Yeah, I know. And I was really my glasses are fogged over. I was really super careful. I cracked this door right here. I opened this door and I cooked right here. And, but I was hungry. Like I made chili. So it's the first time I cooked in here, believe it or not. Yep. I didn't cook in here. I was like, I gotta quit doing that. It was Christmas Day. So I cooked myself up some chili and it was perfect. I was like, why have I not been doing this sooner? Because I'm not set up good the way, where I was like, if I wasn't like, I'm kind of like still teetering on like having power, because I'm running this cord right here. I run the extension cord in, and then that's how I get, like, these lights don't draw that much. It's really good with the Jackery, because when we lost power, I used to cook in, oh yeah, well yeah, and you guys can run like crock pots and, you know, those little electric ranges, and there's just so much now that they have. But with those little range, you know, the electrics, like, you know, like this, I'm not going to start my truck up because I don't have that much gas, you know. So it's like, that's where you can get yourself into trouble if you're out. Right now, I'm in a good spot. but I'm still careful because of, you know, knowing, I mean, if a tree falls out here, I'm stuck. Well, I have this little thing. Let me move my stove. I've got my computer and all this stuff in the way. I have that little, let's see if I can set this down. What did I do with it? I've been moving so much stuff around. It's probably up here by now. Yeah, it is. So I have, that's the thing. I haven't even used this yet. I'm like, I don't even know how to use this. I've never used one of these before in my life. I was not a Girl Scout. I didn't do any of that stuff. None. Yeah, so I've got to learn. I've even got to learn how to do that kind of stuff. I haven't done it. But this little thing right here, I've got to find my, the top. It has like a little top. And this little candle, I put alcohol. I did the alcohol trick. So I didn't have cotton balls. So I took toilet paper and soaked it with alcohol and stuck it in that little burner in there. And it got hot. It worked really good. Yeah, it was really cool. So that was like one of the things that I kept, you know, from working on Winnie. And I'm really glad that I did. So it's really cool. And it has a little, I drop stuff all the time. I'm like, this is probably the hardest part of this for me. And I have ADD, so it's like, I mean, I know that might be hard to believe. But yeah, I know. I have WIC too. That's the other thing I still have, I gotta figure it out. I'm not kidding. That's why I was thinking these things right here, these kind of things. If I built that shelf right back, or back there right, I could put at least 4 of them. And that would be like my dishes, my toilet, you know, things, because that moisture in the air in here, my toilet paper will even get damp. Like right now, having the door open, it's not that bad in here, but when it's raining, it's crazy. It's just, you can feel, everything feels damp. And we're supposed to get a really nice sunny day on Tuesday. I want to pull everything out again. Yep, I said it. I'm hoping to and I'm getting it organized now where it's not so challenging to do it. I'm getting better at it where I can just rip this stuff out and then put it all back in before it gets dark. And that's really a good thing to do, is get the cat food. Stokely which I buried him under here. Sorry, Stokely. Stokely is look at him. For crying out loud, he's a moose. No wonder Sasquatch doesn't come around. I didn't mean it. Yeah, see, he stuck his tongue out at me. He's doing good. We snuggle, and he's easy to mess with. I mess with him, tell him that he has to like it because I'm his person. He doesn't have a choice. But I think that, like, back there, that's that food container. I really like having that. It's actually for cats. And then the refrigerator's back there. And I was looking at it going, man, if I took a board and just ran it across the back there and framed it out, I could easily, like, build that to where it wouldn't obstruct me being able, like, if I'm at the ocean, I could go to the ocean and still, like, open the window. And lay here on the bed and like look out the window. I've been thinking about switching ends and putting my head down at that end so I can just sit down right here and lay down that way. Because what I do, I find, is I sit here and I'm like this, and that is killing me. Being all hunched over, it's causing me a lot of problems. If I was sitting back there more, it's not so bad. Because I have this right here drops down. It's almost an inch. I get floor space, but man, I wish that was bigger up there. Can you imagine? I'm 5'1". I hope that doesn't. If it does, I'll pull you back up. Have you thought about gas generator? Oh, that's what I was telling my daughter, because the one thing that I was like, we've lost power 3 times. 3 times since I've been here in just 2 months. So that's what I'm saying. When those storms kick up, I have to pay attention to it. And even if I were staying out, if I get my pass, like my discovery pass, I can go stay up in the woods. It's just kind of funky right now in places. They've been, they've had some issues. There's another big creator. I can't remember what his name is, but he was up here and he's like big, and he parked up at the trails not far from me, and they wiped him out. They like took his stuff. He'd gone out on the trail and they robbed him. They took all his camera gear. Like, he had some good stuff, had it locked up. And it's just like, that's the part that I get kind of like, I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to deal with anything. And I get kind of, when I say I get paralyzed, it's because of stuff like that. Like, I just don't want to have the conflict. I mean, I think if I were put in that situation, it's just so, I just don't want it. And I wish people just be nice to each other, because I get scared about that. Oh, it was terrible. And I can't remember what his name was, but he's pretty big. Like, he had some expensive stuff, and he's just the coolest guy. That's the problem with these people that do that stuff, whether it's just kids or they're on dope. A lot of people are on dope up here, and I'm not talking they're smoking weed. We're talking about just like with you guys having the issues down there, and people go off into the woods and wherever. I mean, it's right here. It's like on the street. It never was like that before. But now they're going and hitting these trails. For one, it's always good, like, I'm not so worried here because this is private property. You don't want to come on this property without being invited, and I'm just going to leave it there. But these public places, it's not cool because you can't even go hiking anymore. They're going to have to figure out something with securing those parking, like when you park at the trailheads. They'll have to do something. And that's where, like, there's not enough, people to police that. The park rangers, I guess they could do it, but there's just not enough of them. That would be a cool job to have. That's something that would be nice. Wander around in the woods. It doesn't bother me. I grew up like this, so it's almost like more peaceful. But it's hard. I mean, the heating thing, I thought about the gas generator for out here because it can be days. That one time we lost power, that one storm come through, and it went all the way up the I-5 corridor. And that one, I wish that was like, man, we need a generator, because we were on 3rd day, and finally they came back on. And it's just these trees, if they fall or the ground's like, we finally got a break, this is good to catch a break like this and see the creek go down. Because if it stays up and that ground gets too soggy, we're gonna start having mudslides. Trees will fall, wipes out the whole power grid, and the whole wooded. And then they have to figure out, how, like this last time on Christmas, I went on to the energy site, and there was 142 people just in this area that was out without power all day on Christmas. That's quite a few people. So it just wiped out that whole grid there, and it was trees, vegetation, most of it was, and it went all the way up to Canada, because I'm not very far from the border. It was that was the storm the other day. This storm the other day, it was just the Christmas storm. It was that night that the wind hit again, and that was worse than when the power went out. It was like I just woke up and the power was out, but the storm after was just wind and those trees, and I could hear limbs hitting, and I'm like, okay, am I gonna have to get out of here? And it wasn't as cold, but it gets cold. I think when it's snowing and freezing, I start to question what I'm doing at that point. When it's hot, you can lay there and just like sweat, and go find water somewhere, spray yourself down with a hose, whatever. But when it's cold, it's really hard to get warm when the truck is like, you know, it won't get up to even 60 degrees. And that's when I start getting worried. But when in that little candle thing, you'd be surprised how much heat. People should really look into that. And that's why I saved the candle wax and stuff. See if I can make this where I can talk to you guys. I saved all my candle wax and dryer lint, things like that, that will, you know, I can make like fire, because that'll burn for a long time. You're talking about the lard. You can also do that with candle wax. And so many people just throw out candle wax all the time. So it's like, if you know people and they're burning candles, and party light candles, not so much. Those burn really good all the way. But a lot of the cheap candles, you can save that big chunk of wax that didn't melt down and have little pieces of it. Stay in here, Stokely. He wants to go out. And this is what I'm afraid of is, let me get him out of here. Or get this door. Sorry, hold on. He'll jump out. And there's coyotes here. That's the big thing. No, I was sure thinking about it, because I'm tired of that mess that you just saw in there. Let me see if I can get this to come on right here. Put it under here where you can see me better. There we go. I didn't, because I didn't have the money by the time, you know, you said that. And I wasn't planning on being here in 30 to flipping 0-degree weather and freezing my patootie off, you know. But what I did was I took 2 sleeping bags and I just sleep on top of them. And that helped, believe it or not. Because what the problem is right here. All this air gets in this back. I have a fire sometimes. Let me turn this around. I will have a fire right down here. Like, put my little fire thingy, that deal. And did you guys see it? I couldn't see if you could see it. Ta-da! And I'll build my little fire in there, and right here, sitting right here with this tarp, it gets warm, and I can sit right here and kind of warm up while I work through boxes and get through stuff. But if I could seal this truck up and get it sealed properly, I would not be having as much problem. The sleeping bag, I thought about that, because that one girl I follow on Instagram, I know she's on YouTube too. She goes around and shows murals, and she has that little trailer, Tara's Tiny Trailer. I like that little trailer. I want the extended one though, but that's kind of like something I think that I could use, like, so I could sit in there and do my crochet and do my crafts and work on whatever, have like a place to actually set up. And that would be nice to have that, or even like a cargo trailer that I could, you know, fix up and be more stealthy even with it. That's the only thing I'm worried about, is like traveling right now. Where am I gonna go? And I know like some of even like the places where a lot of people go to, Quartzsite, places like that, I don't really know. I know some people, and I've watched some of the people that go down there. It's just not really my thing. I'm not a desert kind of person. So I like trees. I like what you guys saw. I feel safer that way. I just feel so open in the desert. I feel like there's nowhere to hide. It's like there's nowhere to go at the desert. I just feel really exposed, unless there's caves. I really like it going through like, oh, now it's raining. See, can you see it? Now it's raining. Now I feel rain. So that's why I like try to, sorry, I'm trying to turn this where you guys can see me at least a little bit. I'm gonna have to get off here pretty soon. I guess I could sit inside. Hold on. Back up, boy. Back up. Get up there. He's so big, it's like trying to get in here. You guys are seeing the real, what really goes down at nighttime. Get this off. Stay here for a second. This is what I have to do to get in. So usually I have my bucket. Oh no! Go away. Are you there? Uh-oh. There we go. Are you back? Did I lose you? You hurt yourself? That was close. I'm sorry. I drop my kids like that. Hey, I lost everybody. You guys all left me. All right. Well, I'll get off here. My diehard fan is still on. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to get set up, I think. finish doing this. I've been trying to just get organized. That's the biggest thing, is not being, not, it gets messy fast, and I have what I need. I'm good. I just get unorganized, and as soon as I get unorganized, it's frustrating. Plus I have the ukulele in here. I have all my things I'm working on, my crafts. Once I get thank you so much for coming on. Thank you very much. You have a good night too, and give Erica a big old smooch for me. Big one. Big old smooch. She's such a sweetheart. But yeah, once I do that, and I was thinking about that sleeping bag. I was for sure thinking about that. So if you see them on sale somewhere, let me know. That's what I wish I'd have got one, because sometimes I think I'm still trying to do the live like I'm living in an apartment, and I gotta shift from that thinking. Like, I need to keep simplifying everything. The more stuff you have, the more complicated it is. So a lot of the curtains and stuff, it helps actually with keeping the temperature controlled and the moisture out. So I don't not like that about my truck. It's like having that sleeping bag. That's all I would need, you know, some pillows and the sleeping bag. I've just got too much. It's still too much. I need to get these seats out here, these 2 seats. That would be, like I said, another 5 feet across, and then almost tired of that cat box. That's the other thing. But I'm getting there, you guys. It's every day. I go back and I look at my videos, some of my videos, and I have a lot of footage I need to put together. The other issue that I'm not able to do as many videos is because of my storage, not having enough storage. And Apple, if you don't keep things cleared off, it backs up really quick when you're doing videos. And I was looking through my Google, because a lot of my stuff backs up to Google. Getting my phone to work with my laptop. My laptop's old. It's not bad. I mean, it's a good laptop. It just doesn't connect to the iPhone. So that's frustrating, because I thought, oh yeah, I've got all this stuff together. I've got it all set up. I can start, trying to do better videos again. I miss having my storage. I can't believe how much having that storage messed me up, not having the storage. What's he doing? You saying hi? Yeah, that's so sweet. Do I smell like Sasquatch? He loves me. He's a good boy. I get on to him sometimes. He gets kind of on my nerves. He just always wants, if I make any noise at all, he's got to see what it is. I laughed at this one lady. She has her boxer, and she's doing really good now on Instagram. She's got people that she's doing paid videos on for it with her dogs, and she has a boxer that, oh, you're so sweet to everybody, that she did their very first skit, and she's trying to sneak food, and so I'm constantly like trying to sneak around him, because he's like, he needs to slow down. He's too big. He takes up too much space. Can you imagine about a dog? There's one other girl that she had dogs, like 3 dogs and a Bronco. I'm like, I'd be freaking crazy. I can't do it. He gives me kisses. All right, you guys. Well, have a really good night. Thanks for coming on and sticking it out with me and going through the woods. I don't feel scared when you guys are on there with me. I don't know why. I don't know what you would do. Witness it. Be a witness. See the phone go flying around like you did. Can you imagine if that would happen in the woods? Screaming, throw my phone. That's funny. All right. I love you guys, and I'm glad everybody was safe and didn't freeze over Christmas. So have a good night, and I'll be back on soon. I'll feel froggy and come back on. Maybe I'll even try to clean up a little bit or something. All right. I love you guys. Have a great night. Take care of each other. Be kind. Toodaloo.